while all of you are enjoying a fine dinner, we are here to provide you with a bit of education, entertainment, and of course, recognizing the opportunity for Native peoples and our culture to be exhibited here tonight. We're Red Cricket Sky, originating out of the Virginia area, and we have members from various tribes from all across Indian country here to present these dances here for all of you tonight. I'm being joined by a host of individuals who are not only cultural consultants, but champions, of course, in the dance arenas that we travel to throughout the areas of the East Coast and, of course, all other directions. I have the opportunity to have with me one of our premier singers singing with Stony Creek as he travels up and down the powwow circuit, and here, of course, to provide our great songs for tonight. Would you please give a round of applause to Mr. Keith Cox at this time? As you sit and relax as we prepare for the larger event, our gathering tonight, the powwow, later on this evening, that we have an opportunity to premiere and spotlight many of the dances that you'll see. Give you a little bit of insight as well into not only the style of dances that are here on the stage, but of course, the individuals themselves. And one of the first individuals I'd like to ask to come out at this time representing the Lenape people. Would you give a round of applause to Mr. Duncan Munson? We refer to Duncan many times as not only a champion dancer, being joined by our tiny tot, Cameron. Give him a round of applause too, because of course he's going to do a fine job. And for us folks, this is truly an example of what we're all here for, to encourage and to inspire people to reach their goals, not only in the arena, but of course on the outside of it as well. And the way that we are dressed and the things that we wear and the things that we do symbolize what we know, what we've been taught, and what we are hopefully going to do is pass this on to someone else. As you look at these two fine dancers, they are of course dressed in what we call traditional garb, their regalias, some people like to say their outfits, and of course representing that particular style, what we call grass dancing. We bring them out first because in a very symbolic manner, they were the ones that would help create an area for all others to show themselves. Others say that they, of course, were the ones that would count coup during battle and to show how many times they had done so as they have their victory dance when they would return. Others speak of how they would, again, flatten the grass amongst the grasslands and Canadian grasslands as well. And while doing so, taking the grass that had been flattened, braiding it, placing upon their bodies and their attire. Truly, as they dance, they symbolize so many things. And for us as Native peoples, we realize that we must also pay respect and contribute to, again, back to those tribes who share these various dances with all of us across the United States, Canada, and even parts of Mexico, depending upon the style. As you witness the dancing, notice how they twist and turn, very fluid in each and every step. And the parts of their outfits, their regalias, of course, meaning or keeping a meaning, something to them as an individual. Perhaps the designs, the colors, some being geometric, some being floral. Again, representing the area, not just the style of dance, but of course the individual and tribal communities that exist all over still today. As you take a notice as they're dancing and the type of items that are being worn, you notice a variety of colors, each again distinguishing them from one to another. No two outfits ever looking just alike, but again, representing the person and the style all at one time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we refer to as grass dancing.
Yeah.
As I was doing my reading and understanding of what this conference meant and what it's meant in the past years, to realize and understand that it started with a few and now has led to over 25,000 members, friends, partners, who again come together to support and provide those opportunities to so many. To think that it only started with a group of individuals in one place at one time, and the joke that was made and what has become today. It is the same, of course, with us as Native peoples all across the United States, and of course people of culture, that we gather together in small numbers at times and to create great opportunities for the masses. And so as we travel from one gathering to the next, from one celebration to the next, we realize that there is a continuous sharing of culture, of ideas, and progression as well. Just as, again, the progression that is put forth for those, of course, the Chicanos, Hispanic cultures, and us as Native Americans, Alaskan Natives, that we realize that that constant sharing will allow more and more opportunities to be there for our future generations. As I stand here dressed in what we refer to as a Northern traditional dancer, and realizing that this dance that originated out of the plains and being shared with so many across the various parts and all of the states of these United States, realizing that I have an opportunity and a responsibility to keep the culture alive. That for myself, being Tuscarora and Lumbee here on the East Coast, and being able to participate in a dance that originated out of the plains, how I can, again, add my own flair and my own story to what is being done. And so as I dance here today, moving in that circular manner, but never doing a 360-degree turn in one spot, to realize and understand as I bring my staff up, utilizing something that was used by my people here on the East Coast and the northeastern part of the territories, but also representing, again, a style that we have an opportunity to show our respect to. We realize and know that with every step that's taken with that heartbeat, that we stay in unison and right down to the last beat of the drum. As I dance, I may try to tell you a story of a situation in my life or a situation that occurred amongst my community, my people, or my tribe itself. So as I dance and I show off, of course, the use of these feathers in such a way, whether it's through my bustle, my fan, my visor, or the two top feathers on top, my honor feathers, that again, the responsibility is there to understand the history, to understand what I'm doing today, and to be able to pass it to future generations as they come. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy what we refer to as Northern traditional dancing. As the stage was set many times after our grass dancers had prepared a place for our men's traditional to come out and show what would take place perhaps in the battle or what would take place afterwards. That was a space also for other dancers and other people to come. And we know that with our ladies' traditional, that they, of course, equally respected many times. And we know that with the women that are out here tonight, how they are leaders, future leaders for our communities and our people. So when I ask Hope to come out and represent not only what we call ladies' Northern traditional, but helping to represent the tribal people that are indigenous to the area that we all, of course, are in at this time. We know that the Piscataway are great people, not only of long ago, but still today, receiving their state recognition in 2012 at a historical feat one they had been working on for over 18 years, and of course, making it happen in 2012. Let's give them a round of applause for that feat, ladies and gentlemen. As you watch her dance, truly representing not just the beauty of Native America, but truly representing the grace and dignity that we all have. Our ladies, of course, when they enter this arena, never being told to do so, but always a request, to realize and know that they do so much more than just what one might see as they are dancing, whether it's an enjoyment of an intertribal or whether it be contest, whether it's the opportunity to teach to those in their communities or to teach to the masses of mainstream society during our opportunities of American Indian Heritage Month in our state, federal, and various other agencies. To realize that they are the givers of life, that they many times prepare and create those works of art, those regalias for so many, not just family members, for individuals all across Indian country. So for us here tonight, it truly is a parallel to what our Native women are doing in reference to, again, the Society for Advancement for Chicanos and Native American Society, to realize in science that our women are strong and should be respected for being so. And so with that, a round of applause for Hope Kodiai and Our Ladies Traditional. One thing that we comment on, ladies and gentlemen, is the idea that we are all unique from one tribe to the next. And one of the things that I remark on, of course, the type of fan that she was using, not that of eagle, but of turkey. And that we know amongst many of the tribal groups here on the East Coast, especially those, the Piscataway, those tribes within the Delaware and New Jersey area, and even Pennsylvania at times, utilize those items in reference to creating the headgear of their tribal leaders. And we know that mainstream society many times identifies the eagle feather with us as Native peoples. But at the same time, keeping true to who we are and our types of teachings, customs, and traditions, that there are a variety of feathers, animals, and things that were used to signify who we were, not only within our tribal groups, but our societies, bands, and clans as well. And so with this next dancer that we have to present to you, representing those of the Lakota people, more sometimes known as the Sioux, and their various bands that they belong to, could I have a big round of applause for Elise Sparks Jackson at this time? Dealing with numbers, dealing with facts, there is much that can be talked about in reference to this particular style. 365 to represent each day of the year. 7 rows, perhaps, on many of our women's dresses to represent the days of the week. 365 days of healing and good feeling amongst the people. And we know that with each and every step, that there's a caressing of Mother Earth as she dances and moves to the beat of the drum. That as she dances and you hear the sounds of these snuff can lids rolled and placed upon the dress, utilizing a type of recycling idea that should be used much more in today's society. To know and understand that what she does is not just for herself, but for the many people who look upon her and who she dances for. That as she dances and moves about using that fan made of many eagle feathers to signify to that drum and realize that there is purpose and meaning in everything that she's doing, right down to the type of beads and designs that are used to represent her particular tribe and her area, and of course the spirituality that goes with her tribe as well. To know that the feathers that she utilizes and that she wears in her hair are gifts that is bestowed upon her for what she's done, again, for the many, or perhaps just for the one. As she dances and moves about, knowing and understanding it's not directly about the steps and how quickly that she can move, but again, it's about keeping something alive, keeping something going, and allowing the opportunity for it to be passed down. To realize it's not about just putting on a regalia, but to understand and feel what it is that you're doing. Just as many of you understand that there's a responsibility that you have to, again, take what you've learned, to utilize it, and hopefully pave a way for someone who's coming behind you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ms. Elise Sparks Jackson and what we call Ladies Jingle. There are certain words that you keep hearing me say, like generation or generational. And the next dancer that we have is helping to keep, again, the family spirit alive of those who are staying in the circle. And so we'd like to ask a very special lady at this time to please come out. Natalia Jackson, our Girls Fancy. Now, folks, if you're seeing a pattern here with, again, our Tiny Tot Cameron, of course, Elise, and now Tally, you see, once again, that beadwork, we truly do give reality and meaning. That the designs that we wear truly help to represent our family, not just ourselves, but our family. And when we think about the progression that has taken place amongst your particular society and the changes that have come about from the number of 13 of those who receive their degrees in the areas of engineering and science, to, of course, the thousands of degrees that have been earned since then. That, again, there is a progression in all things if we desire it to be, if we work hard and make it so. And when you take a look at this particular style of dancing, Ladies Fancy Shawl, is the most contemporary dancing of Native America for our women. That when they dance and spin and turn, creating intricate footwork, being balanced on one foot and then the other, turning in one direction, and, of course, equally in the opposite direction. That truly, again, progression in the dances that you see, of course, in our powwows and our gatherings. You notice that as she starts to move and spinning about, using that shawl as if it's the wings of a butterfly, opening and closing, and coordinating, of course, her shawl with her footwork. So much is taking place in a very small period of time. But, of course, we know she is coming into her own, developing her own style of movement. And as, again, she interprets the drum, ever how slow or ever how fast, keeping, again, with the beat of the drum, or what we like to say, the heartbeat of our people. I could go on and on about this little lady, but right now, we're going to allow her to show you exactly what she can do when it comes to ladies' fancy shawl. A round of applause once again for Natalia Jackson. What she does in a matter of moments. Again, we look forward to what's actually going to be doing and going on, of course, at the powwow later on tonight. She will be there, of course, with so many others that are joining us from all over the area. And in reference to, again, just coming out and having a great time, celebrating and keeping something so valuable and what makes us who we are alive. I keep reiterating, again, keeping that alive because we have to keep that in the forefront of our minds because our culture is what makes us who we are. It makes us unique from any other groups of individuals. And yet we know that that is true for all cultures that exist. It is what makes us unique, and yet the things that bring us and keep us in close contact with each other, our commonalities, in reference to dancing, singing, and of course, great food as well. Well, our last individual that we have before you, of course, will be performing one of the most difficult dances of Native America. It's referred to as the hoop dance. And as we again said, he's Mr. All-Around because he's a very talented young man. Not only, of course, he's a great grass dancer, a champion hoop dancer, and also a singer, which he'll be exhibiting tonight at the powwow. With each and every hoop, we know that he'll create designs and acts of nature. So every time that you see a particular design, applaud him if you have the opportunity to do so. And again, we encourage him as he is here performing, again, one of the most difficult dances of Native America, again, the hoop dance. Mr. Duncan Munson, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed what we've done, what we said. Of course, we can't show you everything there is about Native America, but what we have been able to do is just show you a little bit, that will entice you to be at the powwow, to enjoy, to come up to our dancers, ask them where they're from, see if you're relatives, because you just might be. And with that being said, again, we say Nyangwe. In my language, thank you for allowing us to be here. Red Cricket Sky. Thank you.